Hey there, friends. We're experiencing a snow day here in Cincinnati in the Midwest. And when I think of the snow for me and a lot of my times where I've been out in the landscapes, snow makes me think of silence. Um, I think of times when I've had by myself hikes in the beauty of snow and being outside and feeling the air. And often for me, it's in outside in creation where I experience the divine. Um, there's a kind of a hush that comes to experience the divine out in creation, to recognize that this world is quite large, this universe is quite vast. I'm a small part of it, and I'm just living my life in my story, in part of a larger story. Our culture is all about noise. Our culture is all about constant entertainment. The Nirvana, here we are now, entertain us. And we believe that more noise, more shouting is going to be the answer to all of our problems. Just seek something louder, seek something more entertaining. What's the next fix? What's the next fix? What's the next fix? While all the while inside, you don't feel whole. You don't feel connected. You don't know the answers to the questions of why you're here or what any of this is even all about. But rather, culture wants to sell you the next thing, to tell you that if you buy it, if you participate in it, if you get involved in the noise, then all your dreams are going to come true. It's all going to work out. And yet we go searching for more and more in all of those places and find ourselves with less and less. We experience more poverty and none of the riches. What I find in my own spiritual journey, and I had to find this outside of all things in the church. I'm a guy who grew up in the American church, the American Evangelical Church. I was trained in the evangelical institutions. I have 3 degrees, 2 graduate degrees in pastoral theology and the ancient scriptures. I love the ancient scriptures. I love the person of Jesus of Nazareth and his story and his life and the divine that is found through him. I don't get at all. I don't recognize, I don't understand the conclusions that the American church has come to when it comes to him, when it comes to the divine, when it comes to the teachings of simplicity and loving our neighbor and listening. It doesn't make sense to me. I'll just share from my journey. What I know is that God shows up not in a bunch of noise, but when there's nothing. Not out of riches, but in poverty. When I get quiet, when I reflect, is when I experience him. Roland Walls, one of my kind of present teachers, I get it out of Celtic Daily Prayer and really enjoy and appreciate Celtic roots of Christianity going back to St. Patrick. Roland says, God himself comes to nothing in order to say anything. Not in the noise, not in all the entertainment. God himself comes to nothing in order to say anything. He comes into the mess and the muddle, the incompetence and the death and the basics of human existence. There's all this extraordinary stuff at a deep level. We have to be quiet and receive it. Silence is the way in which God has expressed fullness. It's in nothing that he speaks fullness. The best way he does it in the revelation of himself, he enters into the silence of our incompetence and our poverty. and shows up as divine. Say that one more time. He enters into the silence of our incompetence and our poverty and shows up as divine. Human religion, man-made religion, creates rules and barriers between us and the divine and says that you don't have it together, you can't be accepted, you can't be known unless you have these rules and constructs that you're following that make you accepted. And judgment is always upon you. Condemnation is always upon you. What if none of that was true? What if that's not the way he set up this whole thing of connection with the divine, with the creator? What if that's not the way it looks like at all? What if it's rather about love, and about grace, and about mercy, and about in these quiet times of poverty, and we get in connection with our poverty, that in that nothingness, he shows up in fullness and expresses the fullness of who he is? What if it was really about love? Be good news. To me, it's the good news that what the good life is all about. I recognize I've been lied to since I feel like the day I was born, that God was angry with me. Turns out he wasn't angry with me. He just missed me. And when I get quiet in the nothingness, he can say anything. And out of my poverty comes fullness. That's the good news. Welcome to the good life.